You're going to renovate your kitchen and you don't want to make mistakes when choosing the decorations you'll use from the floor to the ceiling. So I'm going to tell you right now in this video about some decorations that I don't use in my current projects. Okay? In my opinion, they're out of style, they're out of use. And that probably wouldn't look good in your kitchen renovation either. So stay with me because I'm going to tell you right now and show you these items, these types of out of style decorations. Hey everyone, how are you doing? All good? I'm Edipo, an architect, and I want to show you these decorations right now in this video. This will help you not make mistakes when choosing these products and materials when you're renovating your kitchen. The first tip, the first item I can tell you about is not to use mosaic tiles on the wall of your sink or even on the wall behind your cooktop. Mosaic tiles. It's a very repetitive pattern and has a lot of grout. It used to be used a lot, right? This decoration is very beautiful. Let's not say it's ugly just because, no. It's a spectacular decoration, very beautiful, but for a different type of use. Not in the kitchen, not on your sink wall, not on your stove wall. Because there are some reasons and logic behind this. First, it's a very repetitive pattern, especially those tiny little squares, the crystals. You're going to see a lot of repetition of the same design. There's a lot of grout, which in daily cleaning, especially on the wall by the sink as you're washing, getting it wet and rinsing. And even more so on the wall behind the stove where we're cooking food with grease and everything else. Even if the range hood is on, we know that the grout is going to get stained and dirty since there's a lot of grout, right? Because there are a lot of divisions between the little tiles. Over time, that's going to look really bad in your daily life and you'll need to do maintenance as soon as possible. So if there's one product I don't recommend you use in your kitchen renovation, especially if you're building from scratch, it's using tiles for your wall, whether it's behind the sink or the stove, and not just the tiles, not just covering the whole wall with tiles. You know that strip that we used to use a lot in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the laundry room? We would tile up to halfway, put the little strip, and then continue the covering above it. I also don't think it's very nice nowadays, okay? What's interesting is maybe using porcelain tile, right? That's pretty big, right? Like a 20 by 60 to go in front of your sink on the front wall with very little grout. And there are even some projects where clients ask to raise the stone from the same countertop, right? From the same countertop stone. You made your sink and would lift it like a single backsplash, right? To cover that wall there, which also looks really nice, but tiles are something I don't like here. I wouldn't recommend it for you. Mirrors on the overhead cabinets in your kitchen. We know it's very beautiful, it looks really nice. There are some types of mirrors, you know, like bronze, silver, gold style that look spectacular, but in everyday life, that doesn't work. And why don't I recommend you use mirrors on overhead cabinets, okay? The cabinet that's on the upper part of your kitchen. There's the lower part, the base cabinet, and the cabinet that's on the upper part. Guys, I don't know if you have a cabinet in your house. Have you ever had any experience with someone who has a cabinet with a mirror in their house? I'll explain why. You just cleaned your kitchen, right? You did a lot of work there, a big cleaning job, then you go there and make lunch the next day. And then you start looking at the mirror on the cabinet doors, right? It looks like it's been dirty for a month already. You cleaned it just yesterday, right? The cabinet, the mirrors, and the mirror on the doors. It really reveals the dirt and grease, but not the grease itself. Of course, if it's close to the stove, it will stick, but it really gives that impression. You know that feeling of carelessness? Wow, I cleaned it yesterday, but look at it now. It's beautiful and looks nice. But we have this feeling that we just cleaned, but it's dirty. It feels like we haven't cleaned in a month. So for this particular reason, I recommend my clients use only the carpentry, the wood itself, the wood finish. On the doors, don't put mirrors. Use solid aluminum handles on the doors and drawers, right? On all the carpentry in your kitchen, we know that the aluminum handle that goes all the way across your door, right? On your door, on your drawer of your carpentry, both on the bottom and on the upper part, it's functional, right? It's very functional for everyday use. Now for your kitchen's aesthetics, it's not pretty, it's not nice. Why? It takes away almost 5 centimeters from your cabinetry, from your door, from your drawer. So imagine you chose a nice, beautiful cabinetry model and you paid a lot for that material. And then you go and put a solid aluminum handle on it, taking up half of your door. So it's not nice. Aesthetically, it's not nice. Drop-in sink on your kitchen countertop. Drop-in sink, I don't like it. I've never used drop-in sinks in my projects, okay? I always like to use an Undermount sink or that linear one with the stone, okay? Anyway, there are people who like drop-in sinks. They don't see any problem using them, and there are people who hate drop-in sinks. In daily life, it's not functional. You'll agree with me on the cleaning issue there. When you're washing the sink and so on, the water is running down and all that. You're going to have to push it into the sink. You'll have to grab that squeegee and keep pushing it so the water goes down into the sink. So it's not functional. We can agree on that here. Now, aesthetically it's nice, but that depends. It varies a lot. I prefer the linear one, the one that goes straight with the stone. It stays really close to the stone there. That one is awesome. It looks great in the kitchen decor. We know that this model is a little more expensive, right? There's even a specific name for that, which I can leave for you later here in the description. And there's the traditional model, which is installed under the countertop. Those are the most traditional ones. But I'd like to hear your opinion on this specific item. Are you one of those people who likes the overmount model and doesn't mind it? Or are you into the other models, not Oedipus? I want practicality, aesthetics, and either an undermount or linear model. Leave a comment for me here. And taking advantage of the opportunity, I'll leave some links for you down below in the description of sinks that I like to use in my projects, both linear and undermount, or even drop-in ones. I'll pick a few for you, though I don't like them, and list them below. In the description, if you ask Edipo, do you recommend a brand or model? I'll leave for you the ones I like to use in my projects down below in the description. And lastly, guys, the famous Gourmet faucet in your kitchen. I've already talked a lot about this product here on the channel. Edipo, explain to us why you don't recommend it. You don't like to include it in your projects, the Gourmet faucet on the kitchen sink? I'll give you several examples here, okay? My opinion, if you like it, there's no problem at all. We respect each other's opinions here. Look, the Gourmet faucet is usually very big, right? It has that arch, it has several accessories and so on. It's a faucet that over time requires some maintenance. I have reports, I have examples of clients who installed it, and over time they need to tighten the screw under the sink. Anyway, it's maintenance. And usually a Gourmet faucet, either you pay a lot for a Gourmet faucet because it's a quality product like a top-of-the-line stainless steel, or it's not even worth installing, okay? Why? It has a lot of accessories, a lot of rings, there's a flexible part there and all, and if that's low quality, it's going to rust. And then can you imagine, you paid, I don't know, 400, 500 reais for a Gourmet faucet of inferior quality? And after 2 years of use, you already need to replace it because you see everything rusted, all crooked. So either you pay a lot for a Gourmet faucet to have something of quality, a nice stainless steel, or you just install another kind of faucet, which I like to use in my projects. A cleaner model, a smoother model, a softer model, mainly because of the aesthetics, since it doesn't steal the spotlight in your kitchen decor, okay? If you put a Gourmet faucet next to a softer, cleaner one, aesthetically speaking, you'll see that the Gourmet faucet will totally take over the space there, of the decor, of that little corner, of your sink. So guys, these are some of my opinions as an architect, as a decorator, that I'm sharing with you here when you're about to renovate your kitchen, okay? If you already have a finished kitchen with any of these items and you're happy, there's no problem. As I said, we respect each other's opinions here. I'm just sharing my preferences for my projects. Maybe you can relate or not, that's okay. All right, we respect each other, but I'd like to hear your opinion. What do you think about these items I brought here for you that I would put in one of my projects? Do you agree or not? Leave it for me here in the comments because I want to hear, I want to read your comment here. I want to hear your opinion, all right? If you've made it this far and aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Leave your like, leave your comment, and I'll see you in our next video. Take care.